Okay, I've made my choices, and there's a lot of them, but it's always advised to overplant in case some seeds fail. So that's what I'm going to do. And um, I've got the small peat pots and the medium peat pots soaking, and I'm going to um, probably have to wait on the big things like these, the vegetables, uh, because I don't think I have enough potting soil and things like these. And the squashes. But I do want some squash because I love squash. And it helps with my food costs in the winter. So I'm trying to be frugal. That's why I like to recycle. But I'm going to start with these in the larger pots. One's a dwarf and one's regular. Nasturtiums. I'm going to plant those below the popcorn. And I'll have to have a big bucket for that. And then I'm going to plant these cosmos because they like the shade. And I do have some shade around here. And after that, I'm going to probably get a zinnia, red poppy, moonshine, sunflower, moonflowers, dark morning glory to plant along with the moonflower. I have an old-fashioned mix. Hopefully that'll go in the bare spots that I have. I'm undecided about this, but I got it out just in case. There is that chubby squirrel around. He would love those. And they're nice to have in the winter to cut the top off and suspend from a tree or from your porch somehow, your little iron plant hangers to feed the birds. They love those. I chose marigolds, which are so easy to grow and so profuse. And then I'm going to have some snapdragons. And I have two kinds. I have the ones in the seeds, and here's some that I harvested. And I really got those from where my son had worked. uh, they're pretty hardy, and so I want to see if I can get them to grow. And then I'll see what happens with the rest of them. You know, I'll probably have to go get some more potting soil, but that's okay. So I'm going to start with the nasturtiums. So I'm just going to fill it up. Some of them plant like a quarter of an inch, some a half, some 1 inch. But I'm going to mix the nasturtiums, the dwarf variety and the large jewel variety in this pot. And I'm told if you plant those around the base of corn, that it keeps moisture in the corn. Oh, those are big seeds. So I'll put 4 of the big ones in there. And then this is the dwarf variety. Nasturtiums are edible, so gourmet chefs use these to decorate their plates because they are edible. And I have eaten them before. They're kind of a, sort of like a peppery flavor. And they're hardy. They're fun to grow. So I have 3 of the miniatures. I should probably put one more. I'm going to put them all. 4. So there'll be six seeds. And that's insurance. In case some of them don't grow. And I only used 4 of the jewel mixed colors. Alright, and so let me put a little soil on top and water them. We got that one done. So, sorry, going off camera. So, pat them in. And I have a water filter on my sink. So I'm using that filtered water. So, and I'm going to put them on a tray so they're all easier to move around. And let's get their little sign in there. So I know what's what. Okay, we got one. Plus it's easier to water on this tray since it does have that lip where I can just pour water on the tray and water them all at once. I have this sprayer to spray the seedlings so I don't water too heavily and make them fall over, because sometimes that happens. So if you have a problem with that happening when you plant your little seeds and the seedlings come up and they just don't have enough stamina, maybe you should get a little atomizer and water them that way. That way it's not so tough on them. But what you want to do is water from the bottom, and these peat pots help the root to grow down. So if you water from the bottom, then the roots will go and seek the water and grow down and become stronger, and you'll have stronger plants. So I gotta cut this one open. So this is Cosmos. Let me see how big the seeds are. If I can get it opened. Oh, somebody used that. That must have come out of my daughter's pack. She already used it. Darn, I didn't notice that. But here I have these Cosmos. I think she has another pack of Cosmos. But we'll just go with these. And oh, there's a lot of seeds. They're small. So we are going to overplant. I'm going to use them all. They didn't give you much in there. So, yeah. Overplant. Overseed. Just to make sure. Because some of these are like, you know, from Dollar General or Dollar Tree. They're not like guaranteed. They're called American Seed Company. That's what they have in the Dollar General and the Dollar Tree. So I'm watering over the sink because they seem dry, and so let me put a little soil on top. And I like gardening. When I was little, we had a giant garden with my dad and my grandmother, and they taught us how to grow a garden. It was fun. And we had a good harvest. It was in front of an old chicken coop that was fenced in, and they tilled up the land. And so, of course, it was very fertile. It grew really well. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to put the yellow snapdragons in next. My daughter grew some snapdragons last year, a variety of colors. And they were so beautiful. And they flowered until like November. So here we have a variety. So I'm going to put my harvested ones. I'm just going to put the whole flower pod head in there. That's something I like to do. Hopefully they were pollinated. I did get them in like November, but like I say, they grew pretty good. So I got 4 snapdragons in there. Let me water. So yeah, these peat pots are good. You gotta really soak them because otherwise, if you plant them in the ground, they won't let the roots go through. So sometimes it's good to like take the bottom off because otherwise, sometimes they're so dense that the roots can't break through there. So, but they're good to have to make the roots grow. Alright, so let me write the name of this snapdragon. I have one, so I'm going to use this old one that I have in there. Yeah. Put that on the tray. And so we got Cosmos. I suppose I could have used the packets to make little notices of what plants I got where. But I had the seeds in there, so really I didn't want to cut them open and cut them up right then. So far so good. I have a lot of seeds. Good soil. Alright, and I do have a plastic a garbage sack that I can't use because it's so thin. I cut it and opened it and put it down on the counter for protection so I can just throw away everything when I'm done because it's kind of messy, but you know, it's like playing in the mud. Oh, there are a lot of seeds in there. So, shake them out in my hand. Tiny, tiny seeds. So, we're going to have to save that. So, we'll sprinkle them like pepper. We'll pepper the pot. And, you know, that's the way you should do it. You want to overseed. So, in case some of the seeds are just not viable, then you can, you know, get some growth from the viable ones. So you don't know until you plant them. So, okay, get a paper towel, wipe off my hands. I don't want the dirt to go down my sink. I have a strainer. Before I run any water in that sink there, I have to wipe it out with paper towel. Okay, so we have mixed Snapdragon, mixed colors. And we'll get a toothpick. Try and staple it on there. Yep. Alright. So we got that one. Okay, so Cosmos. Let me throw some of this away while I'm working, so I can keep track of what I'm doing. So this one, I have to fold down, staple it up. Alright, let's see, what is next? Alright, I want to plant the zinnias, but what I'm going to do is plant a bunch in these kinds of containers. So you fill this up. You know, and if you've had seeds from previous years, like a lot of mine were, except for a few that I bought this year, because they always come out with new hybrids and, you know, pretty stuff. Then if the seeds have dried out and gone not viable, then at least one or two will survive, right? So you want to, again, plant, overplant. So here we go. Water this. And I do have a little tray here that I cut off one of the water jugs that I plan on using for a little hothouse, to catch the water dripping out the bottom. So let me even this up a little. Excuse me. Or pardon me. I want to say pardon me, but I always say excuse me. So excuse me is like putting in your head that maybe you're wrong, or you're out of place, or you know, you're somehow less. So that's why I want to start saying pardon me, because that'll put a different mindset in my head, which I want. Alright, water these down. Yeah. So there's no rhyme or reason, it's just what I want to grow. So, let's see. Zinnias. These feel like medium-sized seeds. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, lots of them in there. Oh, pretty good size. What I don't like is when the seeds get into the side. But that's, you know, if you just dump them in there, sometimes they're going to fall onto the side. But oh well, as long as they germinate. Yeah. So I'm only going to use about half these. Hopefully they'll germinate good. And so that's zinnias. Let me put a little soil on top. I've never grown zinnias. I know they're kind of expensive. You can put them in the hanging pots and stuff. They're really gorgeous. So I want to try my hand at that. And just recycle the water out of the tray. Get me a name tag on there. Okay. So my hair is growing. My hair grows fast, just like my nails. Zinnia. Alright, zinnias, you gotta grow. And I'm one for talking to my plants, and I'm probably gonna put on some music for them at some point. So let's see. I think I'll get the marigolds. I don't know. Did she take the seeds out of there? Let me check. She grows really great marigolds. She's got a bunch of seeds. So if there's nothing in here, yep, there's nothing in there. She must have taken them. So we'll have to ask her about that. So I'm going to go for the old-fashioned mix. And let me get a little peat pot. I like the old-fashioned mix. It has Sweet William in there that my grandma always used to rave about. It's like one of her favorites, Sweet William. I've tried to grow it before. It grew okay, but I don't think it got to where it flowered. They're usually like a pink little, it's a pretty flower. Sweet William. Yeah, I think it's one of the pink flowers. So, just for fun, I'm going to try and grow some Sweet William. There's a lot of seeds and they're tiny. Oh yeah. So yeah, we are going to overplant in the little peat pot. I'm just going to load it. Because again, these are from previous years. So I want to put the old-fashioned mix with the pollinator wildflower mix on a patch of lawn that is in the shade, and it's just dirt. Not much grass grows there, which isn't a problem for me, because I have to mow. So I'm going to try and make a little wildflower area. Alright, so Sweet William. And get a toothpick. It's a good thing all this stuff is washable. Eek. There we go. Sweet William in the house. Alright. Hold those. And there's more seeds in there. Yep. So we'll save this packet. Staple it. Staple the zinnia. Snapdragon. They do good. We'll try again next year too. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with the moonflower. So I'm using a trowel to make them fill up fast instead of the little spoon that I have to keep shoveling it into the pots. So I got my garden trowel. And this is cheerful. It makes me happy to do this. So let me get another paper towel. And I will blur out my neighborhood that's in the window behind me. Not that I'm ashamed of it or anything, but I just don't want people upset with me that they may have been in my video. Of course, I found like even shopping, a lot of people, oh, those are large, they don't mind. They just turn away, and they know that I'm trying not to get them in the video. So there's 6 seeds and I'm going to use them all. But she has more, way more moonflower seeds. So that's why I'm going to use them all. And moonflowers, they bloom at night and they're very fragrant. So I'm going to mix them with Morning Glory and Moonflower. So we'll have daytime and nighttime. And I'm excited about that. Yep. So I'm doing good on my fasting, except I did get a headache. I had one today, but I remedied that with, pain med, which I don't really want to take, but I want my body to get used to the cycle. Mm. So, moonflower. Those are going to be great. They're like a morning glory. They just grow like crazy. They grow like crazy. So, they're fun to watch though. Alright, moonflower. So, let's see what else. I wanted the dark morning glories. I have a light morning glory growing. So I'm going to get a dark morning glory. I'm kind of excited about the pumpkins, but they need, I'm going to grow them out of buckets. I'm not going to put them in the ground. Uh, but I want to grow them for the neighborhood kids. Decoration. So, yeah, I'm just going to let them have a pumpkin if they need one, which is fun. So, morning glory. There's a seed up in there. No. Morning glories. We have a lot of morning glory seeds, so I'm just going to plant a bunch. Worry about spacing later. These usually come up pretty easy, but again, they're previous season seeds, so I want to make sure that at least some of them come up, right? Up. I planted morning glories like 4 years ago, and I planted them in a box, and when they come up, they're supposed to be a normal morning glory, but the flowers came out miniature, which was a surprise. And I thought, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because the roots couldn't grow down. But yep, I had miniature morning glories, and I don't think I got the seeds, but I know how to grow them. So if you want miniature morning glories, grow them in a shallow box, 8 inches, 10 inches, not a foot, and see if you can get the flowers to come out miniature, which was neat. Because it would make a beautiful hanging basket if you let them trail and have those small flowers. Okay, we got morning glories, dark morning glories, and light morning glories. So I do want some poppies. I want a red poppy. These are pretty hardy. It's hard to kill them. I guess I'm going to plant them in one of these. Yep. So we'll get that going. I'm doing pretty good with the dirt. Of course, after these things get going, hopefully, I they'll grow in time to transplant outside instead of me transplanting into bigger pots, except the ones that I want to transplant into bigger pots. So I think this one said plant an inch deep. Give them a good root so they don't fall over. Some, like if you plant them on the surface, when they come up, they'll just fall over. You have to be careful and cognizant of that. You might have that problem. But I don't want to have that problem. I want them to grow strong and happy to make me happy. Let's see what the seeds are like. I don't know how old these are. It looks like a really old packet. I'm guessing it came from my daughter's mother-in-law who passed away. So I'm just going to plant them all. Yep. Get them going. There's some that are stuck in there. All right, that's good. Yep. Oh, this bag. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean my dish drainer. I got this bag sitting in my dish drainer, but that's all right. Easy enough to rinse off and wipe off. Like I say, I don't want the dirt in the sink. So what I do during the day, I have this grow light. So I'm always moving plants around because I need to cook and stuff. But at night, I have a gas oven. So plants won't germinate unless they have like 70 degrees. That's why people have hot houses. You have to have a warm air. So what I do is I put them in my gas oven, and the pilot light seems to be enough to keep them warm. Because we've had some cold nights and still my plants germinated. Yeah, and what I do is I turn off my heat at night because I cannot take the cold air return, blowing cold air and the vents blowing air at me. I can't, after a while you just get so dried out from all the air blowing at you. So I just turn the furnace way down at night so the room will get kind of chilly. So red puppies are the house. But it saves me on having to buy propane because propane is expensive. But I got to keep an eye on it so it doesn't get too low because that's how the tanks blow up. They get low, too low, and it can cause them to explode. Okay, we're doing good. So we got a moonshine and we got a sunflower, a giant, it's called mammoth. We're going to plant both. So we'll start with the moonshine. They're pretty. Like out in Wyoming, they grow like wild because people have used them so much. They just grow everywhere. People have them growing on their their berm in front of the sidewalks. They grow out of the road cracks. They're off in the middle of a field. I mean, they're just everywhere. The Not the mammoth ones, but the branched ones, all different varieties. So in Kansas, they grow fields of sunflowers for the seeds and the oil. But out there, it's all decoration. And people don't want to mow. So they have rock yards, like gravel, no grass. And they cover the berms with sunflowers. You know, that's a common sight out there. So I'm going to plant all of these. I can maybe build a wall with these. Because again, they're older seeds. So I'll plant them kind of deep because I want the roots to be, I want them to be sturdy. All right. Yeah, good for me to touch the dirt. Okay, these are moonshine. And if I have too many come up, I can give them to my daughter. She's going to have a garden. They have a vegetable garden, and she puts marigolds in there and different things. That you're supposed to plant to complement the vegetables and keep pests away and stuff. So there's that one. And mammoth. It's probably the big seeds. I'm going to see first. You find woolly mammoth skeletons and tusks and stuff like that all over the place around here. Yeah, they're big. So use one of these. What's in there? Alright. So I guess scientists are trying to get a woolly mammoth from DNA found in fossils and bones. I don't know why. I don't know why. They couldn't do anything with it except, I don't know, keep it in a zoo. Or maybe put them out in the African wild or something. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I was reading there. Trying to get one. Alright. Alright. So these grow pretty easy too. So I'm just gonna plant 6, I guess. point down. And save these for another year. Seeds will last a long time. You don't have to really buy new seeds. You don't want them to dry out, though. Once they dry out, then they're not going to be viable, of course. But some seeds you can keep in the freezer like they do in the vault in, I believe it's Norway or Iceland. So mammoth, sunflower. Okay. Up. To find another way to. Of course, I'm almost done. Oh, I gotta put dirt on top of those. I'll finish this. Yeah, I just use cards from like tea boxes and cut them up myself. Recycle that. Doesn't have to be perfect or fancy, because what I want to be perfect and fancy is the plants. So I want to buy the I got fertilizer and want good soil, which I'm going to have to buy some more. Maybe topsoil. This one isn't working out. Let me try it this way. Please work out. Nope. Let's see. Slide that in there. There we go. Okay, we got it. Oop. We gotta water, cover them. So that's a lot of flowers, but I like a lot of flowers. I like to make my house like a cottage outside, you know, just nothing but flowers and vegetables, and hopefully I can accomplish that this year. Looks like I'm trying. Of course, I don't want to say I'm trying. They say if you say that you're trying, that you already plan on failing. So, not trying. I'm going for it. Okay. Whew. Oh, I made such a mess. Okay, so let me put my vegetables in a bin. These are the seeds that are empty packets. And I know what else I'm gonna plant. So let's see, I think I only have enough for like filling one of those big planters. Let's see. Which one do I want? I want to get the pumpkins going, so I'm going to go for the Connecticut Field, which they say is the original jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and these are pie pumpkins. So I was going to plant pie pumpkins, but with these, I don't really need to. So, two birds with one stone. And it's a heirloom, so that's pretty cool. So, let's see. Oh, I might not have enough. Pack that down so it would keep falling out. I'm gonna go for it, like I said. I'll make do with what I have and get them planted. So I know you're supposed to plant them in a mound, plant them outside, but I want the plants started. Because sometimes, if you wait, then you run into like late in the season to get your pumpkins. So I don't want to be too late in the season. I want to have beautiful, classy pumpkins. Alright. So let me water this. Okay. Got that. Yep. So let's see. 1, 2 in the middle. Point down. And 3 on each side. So 8 seeds. Let's see how many we get to germinate. And we'll save that. And let's see if I can get this to shake out. Ugh, it's so hard. I'm gonna cut this bag off. This is a mix of soil from my daughter with garden soil and potting soil and soil that's been fertilized and soil that's been grown in. I know it's good soil. Alright. Cover the seeds. And get them germinating. The water. Need a little more water. So, oh, one of them is out. Let me press it in. Cover it. Press them in. So, make it. I'm just going to turn this around right on the back of this. Use a knife. There. Happy about that. Put this water in there. So, let me save these. Save that. So this can be thrown out. I'll show you in a second the tray. So we're going to go with basil and chives and all my other veggie plants that I want to get planted after I get some new soil. And we'll put this on the tray. I'll quickly wash off my hands. I really need a manicure after this. This is what I planned on anyway. And I do have a few peat pots, but I don't have soil. So I'm not going to put all this away. I'm just going to kind of move it to be out of the way. But I got a lot done. I'm glad. That was my goal for today. So let me show you what the tray looks like. So it worked out good. I had enough soil to fill up this tray. And there's one behind there. It's pretty good. I'm happy. And I want to say thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload more videos. I want to say everybody stay happy and healthy and have a good day. Bye-bye.